Hello everyone, I'm MJ. Welcome to Taiwan Live TV. Welcome to Taiwan, where it is now level 2 with restrictions. I'm by myself, I'm at the Jarjar store. I haven't been here outside like this for about 3 months. Fist bumped everybody. Welcome on YouTube and on Twitch and on Twitter Live / Periscope. We've had a lot of local outbreak, over the last 3 months. And the Central Epidemic Command Center and the Taiwan government has taken measures, implemented level 3. The level 3 alert with contact tracing, and hey, we're back down. We're down to the point now where we can reopen, and boy, it's nice. The other thing too is that the 2 indigenous Taiwan vaccines are coming online. They're going to be available in about another 2 to 3 weeks. Fantastic. This is nice. Supplies are limited here in Taiwan. Fist bump. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. But you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. Ken, how you doing? Now in this area, some of the businesses have suffered. Mr. Wu's having a tough time because he had that Vietnam lady doing breakfast stuff in that space. Remember, they had like half of his space was Vietnam breakfast. It's all gone. They're not doing it. I don't know why, but excellent. Hey, Dean, how's it going? It says Taiwan rum, right? Disconnected from Wi-Fi using mobile data. Okay, well, I never was connected to Wi-Fi. Yeah, so this is this is the that Taiwan rum that I use. So, but I didn't put any cinnamon in it yet. So, hey, let me know if anything weird just happened to the signal, because I just got this strange notification. I'm at Jarjar. I'm nowhere near a Wi-Fi connection. Like most people, I just leave my Wi-Fi on all the time. Matthew, fist bump to you. Nice to see you guys. All right, that seems like it's normal. So I went to Mr. Wu's tonight. He was dead. So here's what I did. I'm trying to do my part to help. Ordered some of my usual stuff, right? And a couple customers came in, some 3 guys, and they were pretty funny. They were cool. Okay, good, thank you. Well, that's what I thought, but I mean, I do, whenever I do a live stream, I do a speed test first. I mean, everybody does, right? All right, now, but to continue my answer to Dean, I'm drinking more of the soda water now because I'm more, thirsty than, it was really good. That was the main part of my dinner tonight. Don't worry. I got some more food photos for you, but I want to catch up on some stuff. Now, I did do a live stream from Win-Win's just the other day, and I was there in the afternoon, and it was really, really nice. Now, I don't even recognize that place, but right about where that guy is standing with a mask on, right in front of him is a table. That's where I used to sit. And so I would be facing the direction of the camera, kind of looking towards the general area that the camera would be facing. When I used to live stream from Win's Barbecue, and then when it later became Mr. Woo's when he ran it. And this is what Win made for me the other day, on that day that I just showed. And this is her Vietnam style, it sounds funny, but it's pho bò. But anyway, it was a really, and she made it personally. It's really nice. She added more. Yeah, it really is, I know. She added more beef to it than normal, you know. She said, I'm gonna throw some extra stuff in there. And I told her, you make it the way that you want to make it. I'm sure it'll be good. And it was. And this thing was 80 NT. So let me tell you, 30 NT is $1. It's actually a little bit less than $1 because the US dollar's fallen. So 80 NT is like, this thing is like this bowl, and it's huge too. I don't have a spoon in there for reference, but this is not a small bowl. This is $2.50. You may have to. Because the first thing that I did when I went to Win's when it was open was I got her kale, you know, and oyster sauce, and then the I showed you guys this the other day. That's the grilled mackerel, right? And then the basil. Yes. Oh, do you mean in this? Do you mean, is that cilantro in this? No, but there is cilantro in, oh, sorry. There is cilantro in that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, lots of it in that. Yeah, I think you mean this one. Oh yeah, there's lots of it in that. And she gave me the hoisin sauce and the sriracha sauce and a little, like a quarter of a lime. Yeah, and I just, you know, let it fly, man. But now here's the thing. Stop this. Stop this. Oh, come on, man. Oh. My smartwatch thinks I'm jogging, and I don't know why. Anyway, it should be. It's really good. We call it Shang Tsai. Actually, Shang is the first tone, Shang Tsai. It means like aromatic. But yeah, it's really good. And the funny thing is, the first time I tried cilantro, like, I don't know, 30 years ago or something, I didn't like it. I love it now. Where I used to live in Lynn, where Frank is from, if I went to the Cambodian store, that's all you smell is cilantro when you go in there. Now, here's the thing though. I've been eating at home a lot because, you know, the place has been closed. Let me show you some of the stuff my wife's been cooking. Now this is a soup, and it doesn't look like much because it's a clear broth. But let me tell you, the salt level in this is perfect. That's fish balls, but it's free-form ones. It's hard to. It's a fish paste that you squeeze out of the dispenser and cut into like rough shapes, and then that's daikon radish. And this soup was unbelievable. Well, it's really good at cooking those. This is her broccoli and sweet bell pepper. That's red and yellow bell pepper. Again, you know, stir fried in the wok and the You know, the salt is perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. But, oh, sorry, but she made a dish that's off the charts. Watch, look at this. Now you guys know probably what mapo tofu is. This is a tofu dish. It's not mapo, it's because it's her own kind of sauce. It's a brown sauce. That's ground pork, chopped scallions, there's hot peppers in there, her own brown sauce, and tofu. And that is like, couldn't stop eating it, man. Gotta take it away. That to me is like a comfort food. And the cool part about it is, it's zero glycemic. There's nothing in there that's carbohydrates. You know, it's got a fair amount of fat, but it has, of course, tofu is really good because it's fermented. So it's not bad, you know, for men to eat it, like soy milk. Got your hot, spicy peppers. I mean, that was off the charts. So, even though, you know, things have been locked down, I've still been eating really good at home. So there you go. Fist bump to you, Ken. Of course, man. It's the afternoon there, right? So go find a Chinese restaurant and ask them to make you some mapo tofu. It's pretty close to that. Nice and spicy. I'm sure you'll love it. And then report back to me later. So let me let you guys know what's going on with Phoenix. Because, you know, this is an adventure for me. I've never been a dad before. And all you men out there that are already dads, you've been dads for a long time. This is new to me and you're probably laughing. Well, I mean, it's kind of like saying, why is Coca-Cola popular? I mean, people really like it. It tastes good, you know, and it's a well-known dish. And the other thing about mapo tofu is that it's not like a heavy dish, you know, and there's not a lot of sugar in it. It's the main ingredient is tofu and ground pork. It can be made really ultra spicy. It can be made mild. There's a lot of variations. If you guys remember the Fuji TV show Iron Chef from Japan years ago, Iron Chef Chinese was Shin Kenichi. Okay, his father's Chinese, mother's Japanese. And his dad apparently taught him a mapo tofu recipe that he made with ketchup. Ketchup is not my favorite condiment at all. I loved it too. I recorded many shows back in those days. I bought the book, by the way, when it came out. I think the year 2000, 1999 or year 2000, the book came out, and I was disappointed because it didn't have recipes, but it had, like, you know, the historicity of the show and all the stats and everything on the chefs. That was a great show. And in my opinion, we'll deviate a little bit. In my opinion, the American versions are just dismal counterfeits. I remember William Shatner had, you know, and I like William Shatner a lot. It has nothing to do with him, but William Shatner had hosted Iron Chef America, and it might as well have been, the American Dodgeball Association of America, because I watched it on the Food Network. That's back when I was living in the States. It must have been about the year 2000. I watched it on the Food Network, and it was this raucous, noisy, just like a football game kind of thing, which is okay. But then immediately after, they showed the real one with Chairman Kaga, and it was a lot more dignified, and I mean, Kitchen Stadium was relatively quiet. It wasn't raucous, and there weren't people yelling stuff out and talking trash. Anyway, if they came out with it again and did the original version again, but back then I read in the book that each episode cost Fuji TV $100,000 to set up, because they had to set up the kitchen, and they had to bring the food in and everything but I mean, you can't tell me that they didn't make the money off of that. That was one, in my opinion, one of the best shows ever done. But getting back to Chen Kenichi. Now, I never use ketchup for anything, but I have known a couple Chinese chefs. I've known actually a lot of Chinese chefs in my life, Chinese style chefs. Most of them were from Taiwan, some were from China. But one or two chefs used ketchup making dishes, and the dishes were amazing. So I imagine that Chen Kenichi's mapo tofu must have really been something, because for one thing, if you remember, Dean, if you remember seeing him make it right on the show, I mean, the flame coming out of the wok, be barking like about that high, So there you go. So, Phoenix is off school, but my wife and I have kept Phoenix on a program. We have many supplementary books for her, and she's such a good kid, she never complains. We've actually required her to continue studying through the summer. Not anything, like ridiculous, but she has to do so much English, so much Chinese, so much math, so much science every day and throughout the week. And she's really a remarkable kid. She really is. Plus she takes piano, practices piano. And she has piano lessons every week on Google Meet, actually. So this week, she was really excited because she had a, what is that? Oh, yeah, that's a Mitsubishi, never mind. That's summer camp. And this summer camp is based around sewing. Now I'm going to tell you something. I've always been fascinated by sewing. When I was a young man, my father was divorced. My father really impressed me because of his independence. Like, he loved my mother, and he worked a full-time job at Honeywell, and he came home and, my mom cooked and stuff. But he wasn't like so rigid with these gender roles like most men in the 50s and 60s would have been. Not at all. And my father actually was a very good cook. I preferred my father's cooking to my mother's. And my father could sew like nobody I've ever seen. We would move to a new apartment, and excuse me, my father would guy thinks he's got a hot car. It's a Mitsubishi Lancer. You know something? A Honda Fit. Yeah, that has paddle shifters on it too, but it doesn't mean it's a hot car. My father would he'd go to the store and get like bed sheets of an interesting design. And he would buy curtain rods and stuff. And he would come home, get out the sewing machine, cut these sheets all up, and make curtains for the windows. Like, amazing. And like, I had a electric guitar. So I remember he went to one supply store and got some stuff kind of like some, I guess you would kind of call it like, oh, we got another earthquake, like Naga hide or something like that, one of those kind of fake leatherette things. And he just got a sheet of it, and he made me a gig bag for my guitar. I mean, I was like 12 years old, 13 years old when he was doing this stuff, right? So I've always been fascinated by sewing, but I don't know anything about it. And even though some people may think it's weird, I would like to have a sewing machine and learn how to use it, because I think it's a useful skill. Because I think, like, for example, there are a number of things that I could make that would, like, I've got a big analog console in my studio. I'd love to make a cover for it. Right now I just use you know, some material that I just throw over it, but it's not, you know, fitted for it. If I could sew, I would make clothes for my wife, the kind of clothes that I'd like to see her wear. How cool would that be? So when Phoenix was taking this summer camp, it's all about sewing. She was really, really excited. Oh, last week, she kept saying, "Papa, I'm so excited about my summer camp, so excited about my summer camp." She said it like 10 times, right? So let me show you what she made. And what I like about this camp, see, I talk with Phoenix about all kinds of design, because, you know, in our business we do manufacturing, and I've shown her tooling, you know, for making die casting. I've shown her tooling for making sand castings. I've shown her CNC machine centers. You know, she knows what drills are and screwdrivers and all this stuff, right? But the thing that I always emphasize with her is to design on paper. Put it on paper. And when she and I talk about something, to design something, you know, I've got the Surface Pro, and I'll open OneNote, and I get my Surface pen, and I put it down flat like a piece of paper. There's a grid, you know, and we draw stuff, we measure stuff, and she understands that. So what I really enjoyed about this summer camp that she did was that they designed everything on paper first. The teacher gave them like three, you know, they printed them out, 3 copies of the design for the shirt, so they could make 3 different designs and kind of hone in on what they want. So let me show you what her shirt is. Her shirt is based on sports, and that's the shirt she did right there. And it has a badminton racket on it. It's kind of hard to see, but above the badminton racket is a tennis ball, and over to the left, from the reference point of the viewer, is a badminton birdie. See that, the little pink thing? That's actually a 3-dimensional badminton birdie. So this shirt is kind of 3D. It's pretty interesting. So my wife took these pictures. The back of the shirt says sports, and it's written out in letters that she cut out and sewed on by hand. And that is a basketball down below. course, she's 8 years old. But it still looks pretty cool. And then that's her holding her little badminton rackets, you know, in the bag. So there you go. And the other thing that they did, which I thought was really cool, is they sent her a little wooden doll model that you could cut clothes out and try to dress it, and that's the model. And you can see she's done everything. She did a skirt, she did a shirt, she did a bag, and she did some kind of a bow on the head, and it was just amazing. So that's what Phoenix has been doing. And I think it's been very, very productive. And I like that. We have a lot of cool educational things here in Taiwan. And the best part about it is nobody's teaching critical race theory. Nobody. Tonight I got this is the best version of the garlic peanuts that I found. I'm just having a blast. I got one more soda water in the saddlebags of my bike that I think I'm going to grab. Now, are we still on the air? Because we haven't had a comment for a long time. But I know a lot of times you guys are just watching. So let's do this. Please visit livestreaming.technology and check it out. Thanks, P-Days. And check it out, you know, live streaming forums for live streamers and viewers alike. I have my DJI Osmo OM4 gimbal here. I'm gonna go to my bike. I'm gonna get that other soda water because I'm thirsty. So you can't really see it because I don't think it goes down that far, but, well, I guess you can. That is, this is a light that I have on an arm that's sticking out from where the gimbal, you know, the bottom of the gimbal is. And so if I press this button up here, the top button, it turns, it turns the light on. And so I can, it's got a hinge on it, so I can flip it, and I can light up, you know, whatever it is that I want to show. But like out in the street, it doesn't really need it. So I guess it lights it up a little bit. See, it just kind of lights it up like in there, but this is, oops. But this is what it looks like here on the street. Of course, that's my bike right there. I showed that the other day. But I haven't been at this place in like 3 months, just because the level 3, you know, the level 3 lockdown, and yeah. So I'll get most of my bike out of the way there, and I'm going to open up the There you go, that's soda water. Now, Fides, have you tried mapo tofu? Do you like it? We were talking about that earlier. I would like to know because, you know, I have a hobby. I mentioned this before, not everybody knows it, but I have a hobby, and that my hobby is wherever I go around the world, around Asia particularly, other countries, or even within Taiwan, I like to get mapo tofu and try it from different places. And I used to make mapo tofu in a Dutch oven over a campfire. And I remember one time in New Hampshire we were camping, and I had found in North Carolina near my sister's house, I had found a bean pot. It was probably 100 years old. Very, very tiny, little tiny legs, 3 legs. And it was a very deep, I bet, very, very deep round bottom pot with a slightly rounded lid. But this thing was very deep. And I found it in an antique shop, and I bought it, and I took it to the factory and put it in the sandblast machine and blasted it, and then I wheelabraided it. And then I put it in an oven and baked oil into it. So I seasoned it, and that thing made the best beans. And it made the best beans, and I made mapo tofu over an oak wood campfire in New Hampshire and cooked it for 5 hours, and it was utterly astonishing. No, not at all. The most popular dish in Taiwan is beef noodle soup. They call it niu rou mian, beef noodles. Yeah, that's been referred to as the national dish of Taiwan. Mapo tofu is kind of oh, well, not really. See, mapo tofu is, yeah, I misread your question. I'm sorry, you're right. The most popular tofu dish in Taiwan. I'm sorry. I think you already knew about the niu rou mian, but mapo tofu is considered to be from China. And so, I mean, it doesn't mean, doesn't make any difference. Not that it's bad, but it's not really like a indigenous Taiwan dish. But the most popular tofu dish, obviously, is going to be stinky tofu. So, chou tofu is really, really popular here. And there are varying degrees of it. There are 2 basic kinds, deep fried and steamed. And there's a great deal of variety and quite a strata, I would say, between, quality of the different places. Because right over here to my right, most nights of the week, is a little blue truck that does stinky tofu. And my wife's sister tried it once, and she said it was terrible. And I walk by it and I can't stand the way it smells. But not because of stinky tofu, it's because that guy just doesn't seem very clean. I've had stinky tofu in a really fine restaurant. It's just incredible. It's just like cheese. That's all it is fermented, right? I don't know that it's any different than any other kind. It's just, it's just blocks of it. But what it is how they ferment it, the bacteria and so forth. Now, if you've seen Andrew Zimmern, the Czar Foods guy, he went to the stinky tofu place in Taipei, and it was just about too much for him as far as I remember. Some of it is just vile, but I don't know that there's, I don't know the distinction. But I do know this, if you're new to it, if you want to come to Taiwan or someplace, whatever, that has sticky tofu, get the deep fried kind. Because the deep fried will be crispy on the outside. It won't have much of a sticky flavor. And only the inside will be soft and have, the stinky flavor. But it'll be really mild and really subdued. And they give you what they call like pao cai, pickled vegetables. And it's usually like carrot and radish in the vinegar and garlic. And you eat it all together. Get your chopsticks, take a little bit of the vegetable, mix it with a little square of the, pick it up with this one square of the tofu and eat that. But the steamed one will get you. The steamed one is the hardcore stuff. Now, I gotta do this. Go over here. About 2 years ago, a friend of mine named Jason from Texas came to Taiwan to visit. So he went to the night market with my family and I. And he said, I've always heard of sticky tofu, so I want to try some. I said, okay, well, they got it right over there. It's on a blue truck. It's probably going to be pretty rough. But, I admired Jason because he was always up for a interesting challenge, right? So I'm talking to the boss. And I said, they got two kinds. They've got the, the deep fried and they've got the steamed. And he said to me, which do you recommend? And I said, I recommend that you try the deep fried because it's milder, because the steamed is going to be like a full-on assault. And he said, well, I want to try the steamed. And I said, okay. So I asked the boss, which one, which one is the best of, of that kind. And he recommended a stinky tofu soup that was actually kind of reddish in color because it was so spicy. And I'm asking, it doesn't matter, but I said, you sure, Jason? Yeah, okay, because we're talking, it's like a, $2 or something for a bowl of it. So the boss is like, that foreigner guy's gonna eat that, right? I said, yeah. He's like, wow. He's cool. So, boss made it, wrapped it up. We took it over to the table because I had gotten like one of those night market steaks, on the iron. And so Jason's got his little, it's almost like a tub, and he pulls the cover off of this sticky tofu soup. And my wife's like, what is that? And I said, it's stinky tofu. And she told Jason, she said, I won't eat that. I won't eat that. So that's all that he had to hear. He dove in. He took a spoon and he goes, man, that's really good. And he ate the whole thing like that, like gone. Because it was spicy, it was stinky, it was sour, it was like an assault on flavors. And I love flavors. I'm a big flavor person. And it kind of reminds me of like that Star Trek episode where Data got emotions and he was trying to taste food and he was like, ah, and he says, I don't know what this emotion is. And somebody said, well, you look like you hate it. He goes, that's it. I hate it. He says, give me some more, because he wanted to, because he wanted the experience. And that's kind of how it is with some foods. And I told you guys about the hottest soup I've ever eaten. And I don't want to talk about it right now, but the hottest soup I've ever eaten was in Thailand. It was amazing. Oh yeah, they call it QQ. And anything that's squishy, like a gummy bear, it's called QQ. Oh yeah. And you'll see that, like, referring to, I guess in America, they call it boba now, which is really funny, because boba is an English, hey Auntie, how's it going? Boba is an English appropriation of a Taiwanese appropriation, basically. But the pearls, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The tapioca pearls, and it's only called bubble tea because in Taiwanese they say bubble, right? So, because there's no bubbles in it. It has nothing to do with bubbles at all. It's one of those really strange names and terms, that just developed and just happened. It came along. So, well, there you go. Yeah, Auntie's going to give us the lowdown. Well, there are lots of other, like, teas that have jelly and pudding and stuff in it that they call QQ. So, now, Fides, if you're asking me, see, I don't really know, because usually QQ is something that's going to be sweet, and so I usually kind of avoid it. But you'll see QQ a lot of times. Funny, I mean, in a Chinese description, then you'll see QQ, and it means that it's that, that kind of Zenzu, the tapioca pearls. So there you go. So, Auntie, or should I say, IE, sorry, I couldn't help that. So, ni hao ba hao. I'm just sitting here tonight, just enjoying my level 2. Yeah, right, soft jelly-like, exactly. My daughter loves those pudding teas, that, and I like them too, but they're too sweet. But yeah, soft jelly-like, that's a good way of putting it. So there you go, a few days. There's a brand of, like, deep fried foods here called 3Q, but it's not QQ, but that just reminds me. And in Chinese, you say 3 is san, so when you say san q, it's kind of like thank you. A lot of play on words like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, there's a place over in Taiwan that I used to go to where I would just go up to them and I would go like this. And it would mean my 4 things that I wanted. you know, the squid tentacles and the other stuff. And we don't have any of the Sankyu around here. We do have one, and you've probably seen this they call it the honor pie, you know, the shangji pie, but they call it honor pie. I don't know why. In English. And we got one on the other side of the highway. It's been there for at least 15 years that I know about. And their quality has not wavered like 1 centimeter. We just got something from them last week, and it was just as good as I had like 5 years ago. It's just amazing. So, good old Taiwan QC. Let me tell you, it is hot, man. It's about 32 outside in local time. It's 10 minutes until 1 a.m. Somehow I think, you know, on a blinking light, honking the horn isn't going to stop you from getting run over if somebody's coming from the other way. But that's what he did. People believe in fate. Well, it's not my fate to die. Or if it is my fate to die today, there's nothing I can do. So, anyway. There you go. It's the second Mitsubishi Lancer I saw go by tonight. Anyway. I could say something about the Lancer, but I'm not gonna. But a lot of guys have Lancers in there. You know, they're supposedly tuned and have a big bolt-on wing on the back. And it's like, yeah, okay. All right, so Anti, how you doing, man? What's going on with you? And how are things up north? Down here, they're pretty cool, and it's really gratifying to see the numbers going down and staying down. Yeah, there's a lot. Absolutely, there's a lot. Down here in Hukou, it has not been raining so much in the afternoons. This actually was pretty nice today. It was cooler, but tonight is like, I'm wearing a technical shirt, you know, like for hiking, and like, it's soaked, man. Relative humidity feels like it's about 70%, so. Yeah. Actually, I'm okay. I'll just tell you where I am. I'm in. OK， 应该你知道，就是湖沟乡这边是光复东路，光复东路到工业二路的路口。So now you know where it is. But I'm not on that road where you said. So I wouldn't call this a nice area. It's the industrial park. We live here because of business, you know. But to be honest with you, I like to move in. I like to move to Hsinchu City. Yeah, so you can find that on the, if you just look for, because this is, you know, Laohuko, right? And just the Kaosu Gonglu Nabian, right? So if you look on Google Maps and you find this, you'll find this store. It's called Jarjar, Jarjar, Jarjar store. So I'll tell you what. Actually, you're not in my line group, so you can't send it to me. I was going to say, if you could send a cap of the Google Maps, I could display it. But yeah. But there's Gongye Ilu, Gongye Erlu, and this is Gongye Erlu. Okay, yeah. Okay, so see where I'm at. Yep. Exactly. Now, as you're looking at the map, and you go away from Gongye Erlu, you'll see a place on the next corner. The Vietnam shop is Tianxing, which is like Jingtian de Tian and Hsinchu Xing, right? So Tianxing, and that's Wenwen's place. It's right over there that I always go to all the time. So it's so much easier to describe these places in Chinese if you can understand Chinese. 不是Xing, this is Hsinchu de Xing. Hsinchu de Xing. Sorry, I get my tones wrong when I'm trying to speak English and Chinese at the same time. 对. So it's like the new day, right? That's the correct one for Xing. So if you see that on the red sign, that is Wenwen's. That's right over here. So you know, I got my gimbal, and there's nothing really stopping me from putting all this stuff away in my bike and just taking a little walk and showing all this, because I gotta tell you, it hasn't been updated for a while in Google Maps. So now if you happen to be looking at this stream, was that thunder? Ooh, it'd be interesting if it had a downpour. It'd make it a lot cooler. If you're looking at my live stream, like on your PC, there aren't any lanes around here. There's only have Lu and Jie only have roads and streets. There are no lanes in this area. What I was going to say is, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that real estate place. But that's not here. I know what you mean. I see what you're saying. 对. Yeah. 23-22号. 对. Okay, so that's what that is. Yeah, it's the real estate place. Yes, right. But that's an ad, and that's not for I don't know why they do that, but that's not for this place. Because yeah, it's in Hukou. Yeah, I'm looking at it, but it's a different road. So I don't know why. And in English, it's called Bonnie and Real Estate. I don't know. There's a real estate place at the end of my street. But anyway, So now I know. Now I know why you were saying that. Yeah, the address across. But that's just the Kanban. And it's their website is really funny because it's HTTP. It's not even SSL. HTTP, and it's www. I mean, who uses the triple W subdomain these days? Anybody? Oh, that's right, YouTube. But so it's www.bonian, that's BONIAN 888.com. I mean, do you really think there's a, I know, do you really think there's a Bonian.com? I mean, why that to do Bonian 888? I mean, okay, never mind. You know what always threw me about Taiwanese in business, Auntie? It's a lot of Taiwanese businesses will have a domain, like, you know, coolproduct.com or something, right? But their email is, I know. But here's the thing. You heard me talk about JTS microphones, right? And those guys, and I'm working with them, and they've got some great products, but they have an insecure website. And George is like having a hard time convincing them, you know, to pay like $45 a year for an SSL cert. Now, I don't have an SSL cert on Taiwan Live TV because I don't care. But on livestreaming.technology, you better believe I do, because people are entering stuff there. You know what I mean? They're signing up and what. But Taiwan Live TV, they can't even leave a message. It's just outgoing only, you know. But a lot of places in Taiwan don't have SSL certs. And what kills me is they'll have like like I said, like a cool product, you know, domain, and then they'll say email at, and it'll have some like stupid name like Fanny, you know, 12971468 at ms.highnet.net.com.tw, and you just want to like kill yourself. You're never going to remember that. Yep. That happened, guys. That happened this week. 100. I know. And I tried to convince these guys, please stop using the, you know, ms.highnet.net. You know, it's like, they won't listen. 100 Taiwan government line accounts got hacked this week. Line is owned by Naver. And it's the Japanese, you know, branch that owns Line, and they still got hacked. Pretty amazing. All right. So here's what I want to know. I'm about ready to get out of here. I got to go home and take a shower. I'm just absolutely soaked. But you want to take a walk. Now, Winds is dark, but the outside now is still completely open. I got my light. I can just walk through and show you guys. And she's got a security cam and all that. But she knows me, and I'm not doing anything wrong, so it doesn't matter. You know, you don't have to worry about. You only have to worry about things if you're doing something wrong, right? But I could walk around here and show you what's going on. Well, that's true. I don't usually go to sleep right away. I'll probably be asleep by about 2:30 or so. And don't worry, I'm getting more sleep because I've been trying to do that. Exactly. Well, I never do anything wrong anyway. You guys know me. It's amazing. When I get pulled over in America by the cops, they don't know what to think because I have no criminal history. I've never been arrested or nothing. And one guy said, "You're like a ghost." I said, "Yeah, but I mean, I don't get in trouble. So why would you need to know about me unless I'm a person of interest?" I'm a boring person when it comes to that. Just mind my own business. But yeah, like one of the things, when I got my permanent residency in Taiwan and everything, no criminal history, and I don't want to say too much, but it makes it real easy to become a Taiwanese citizen when you have no criminal history, right? Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. It's a game, and so you just hire the best people to assist you to play the game. And so if you know how to configure things legally so you don't have any taxes, then there's nothing to worry about, right? As long as it's legal. See, it's got to be moral, and it's got to be legal. It's not enough just to be legal, it has to be moral too. So I only work with people of a certain moral character. Then I don't have to worry, like one day I'll wake up and go, "Oh, they've been doing this bad thing or something for the last 10 years and I didn't know about it. It was legal, but it was still bad," that kind of stuff. All right, tell you what, we're winding down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my peanuts, because I'm not quite done. Well, there's ways. Let me just say this, okay? In America, the tax laws are written a certain way for a specific reason. And if you have a good attorney that can write you a trust, and you can break the web of ownership, that's how you do it. And it's perfectly legal. And so if you are in business or have a significant number of investments or a lot of money, you might want to check out an irrevocable trust in the United States. So I had my attorney write one for me back in 1999. So like, I remember, like I would be pulled over in a traffic stop or something, and I show the registration for my car, and it says that it belongs to the trust, so I don't own it. So, Well, Auntie, here's the thing. If you have any, listen, if you just contact me, okay, through Taiwan Live TV, okay? Send me an email. It's real easy. MJ@Taiwan Live TV. If you have ties to the U.S., in other words, if you have financial obligations to the U.S., I got the guy for you. He's Taiwanese, but he specializes in U.S. citizen tax compliance. And so that's the do. That's the guy, man. So, yeah, that's the guy. You gonna take off, man? Because I'm about ready to pick up my gimbal and take a walk over here and show a couple of these places. But you can send me an email and I'll hook you up with okay. And his name is Peter, and Peter also specializes in setting up Taiwan businesses and so forth, and retirement planning, and my favorite, citizenship renunciation. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay, we're down to the last, like, this. Let me kill this. I'll turn around so you can watch me put my stuff away in the bike. I'm going to leave my cans here because, you know, the recycling ladies will get it. And then we'll take a walk. All right, let me do this. Show you the street. I'm going to go over here like this and get my alcohol. I'm going to put it back. Okay, so okay, here's the peanuts. Here's the rest of the rum. Got this bag with some text stuffed in it, but most of the box empty. Here's my cup. Let me put this down. I think I'm going to I have my case. I think I'm just going to put my case in. There's really not much in it. Not anything to steal because I got the gimbal in my hand. Okay, here we go. And that's my, you know, soda water. So here we go. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I think people freaked out, but we're going to straighten this back out. Now this is where I was, and man, if you're a coder and a computer engineer, man, you should be able to, like, just sit at home and rake in the cash. That's where I've been sitting. They call it the Jarjar Mart. And many people who have been watching my live streams for many years know that place over there. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, man. All right, so now we're on sport mode because that's the only mode I think that works fast enough. It's a little bit squirrely, but now the old win-wins is right over here. This is lit up, and I don't know why it's lit up. On the right side used to be the long tie, and the long tie is gone. It's moved. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You know, cryptocurrency is cool until the people that run the world say that it's not, and then it's going to be illegal, and then everybody's going to be out. This is the old win-wins, and what they did is, I haven't really shown this, but they have regraded this with, I'm going to turn the light on. They have, let's see, can I turn the, hang on, I'm trying to see where the light is here, hold on. There you go, turning up the light. There you go. Now they're regrading the concrete, and I don't know what for, but they have been doing some work inside, but it's all locked up. Now this is Win-Win's place. They moved next door, and this is it. And of course you can see that they've got you know, Vietnam style, you know, men, right? And so they're doing breakfast over here, and you know, a bunch of stuff, and you know, just the typical stuff, you know, Ganmen and, you know, Shenmen and all this stuff, right? So it's like, yeah. So you see what's going on here, and it's basically like a, and I can show this. They don't care. This is just like a soup kitchen, right? See? And there's 2 soup cauldrons there. Well, this light does a good job. And it's not even up all the way. I think I can turn it up. I think I can turn it up like one more. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And that's the, you know, the deep fryer, and that was here when Mr. Wu was here, and that's the big motor for the deep fryer. And now this has kind of changed because, nope. Well, there's nothing here to take. I mean, the main building is locked here, but there's nothing out here to take. And well, this kind of really demonstrates Taiwan, because I'm going to show you something. Like, for example, you know, these tables are just sitting out here, right? And all these chairs and things. But you see, like, this is their food stock, but that's not locked. You know, it's got like, you know, la jiao and stuff in there, and there's some like pao tai and some other, you know, some other condiments and things, but they don't lock them up. And there's a big freezer. There's a lock on this, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to open it, but I'm pretty sure I could open it. That's the ice machine. I rob that all the time. I have permission from Win-Win to rob that any time. But you know, this is their new place, and this was the drinks that she was doing at one time. But I don't know if she's doing this anymore. I really don't know. And some of that, you know, ice, and then they carved a hole through here. Yeah, that's true. And, you know, tomorrow they'll review the CCTV, and they'll see that I'm just, you know, going through here and showing people that nobody cares. And, I mean, you saw the guy sitting there on a motor scooter. Nobody cares, right? And Mr. Wu's place is over there, but he's closed. And so, yeah, this light's working really great. Wow, I'm really happy with that. So this is a Jarjar store. I'm going to go back around where my bike is. And so, all right, Auntie, let me do this. I'll just show you the street sign as soon as I see it. But yeah, nobody's going to steal anything, you know, nobody cares. It just doesn't matter. Actually, I didn't realize this. There's no street signs. There's one like way over there, but there's nothing here. So, no, this is not near the university at all, actually. But near the university, it is harder. But this is not. This is the industrial park, and the industrial park is where all the Thai people, the Indonesian, the Vietnam, and the Filipino people are, and they have the corresponding restaurants and so forth. Wow, this light is great. Look at this. I mean, if I do this, let me turn this light out, and you'll see what I mean. If I turn this light completely out, it's like, look at that. What a difference. It's like over here. Yeah. No, there is a lot of Southeast Asian restaurants, and what you can tell too by this tells the whole story here. If you look at the lots of Hakka here, yeah. If you look at this tells the story right here. Look at this. I mean, they're trying to sell SIM cards, right? Look at the languages. Okay. Vietnam, and this is Tagalog, Philippine, it's Indonesian, and Thai right there. That just tells the whole story. So, yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Anyway. So I think it's about time I say goodbye. So how did it go? Say goodnight, Dick. Good night, Dick. Remember that? Rowan and Martin? That was great. Oh boy, I just dated myself. You guys take care. I'm gonna head back to the house, take a shower, hit the rack, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Taiwan Live TV. And go ahead and send us a message if you'd like to. For some reason, I'm in FPV mode, and I don't know how I got here, but that's cool. There's a lock for that, but I just don't know how it happened, but anyway. FPV mode. Whoa! So, it's like flying a drone. Whoa! Oh my goodness. I need sleep. You guys take care. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.